Welcome to the Veterans in Politics Talk Show. Join us every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, live stream on Facebook.
Welcome to the Joint Veterans Endorsement Interviews for non-judicial candidates. On the outset, we'd like to formally recognize and thank our sponsoring organizations for making today's event possible. Judge Mary Perry, Clark County District Family Court, Division, Department P. Christine Brewer, Clark County District Court, Family Division, Department S. Judge Chris Cannon, North Las Vegas Municipal Court, Judge, Department 1. Judge Noreen DeMonte, Clark County District Court, Department 28. And Councilwoman Carrie Cox, Henderson, Ward 3. Well, we'd also like to extend our sincere appreciation to our additional sponsors and community partners whose support helps ensure a professional, fair, and transparent endorsement process. We're honored to have you all with us today. Before we begin, I'd like to go over the rules and the format for today's event. First, each panel member will introduce themselves by stating their name and the organization they're representing. Next, you'll be given an opportunity to introduce yourself, state the office that you're running for, and give a brief explanation of why you're seeking that position. Then we'll proceed with the interview portion. During the interview portion, you'll be given 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer each question. Once you have 30 seconds remaining, you'll be shown a yellow card. When your time is expired, you'll be shown a blue card. And you'll be able to finish your sentence, and then you please wrap up your statement at that point. And we'll ask that you please be respectful of the time. After we have finished the interview portion, you'll be given 1 minute to give a closing remark. With that said, we'll start with introductions with the end.
Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. My name is Jeffrey Lustig. I'm an Air Force veteran. I'm a former judge from Washington State, and I live in Las Vegas. I'm here representing Veterans in Politics International.
Hi, I'm Cindy Lake with Veterans in Politics International. Welcome.
Tim Ross with Nevada Veterans Association.
Martin Walker, Nevada Veterans Association.
My name is William Robinson. I'm running for William Robinson II, let me get that straight. Running for North Las Vegas City Council, Ward 3. And I'm running because we have a lot of things that are going on behind closed doors that the public needs to know about. Backhand deals. So I chose in this campaign to not take any money. So it's self-funded. And what I mean by the backhand deals is they're making deals with developers, and the candidates are getting campaign money, getting their campaigns funded, and they're pushing stuff through for the developers and not opening it up. That's one of the things they're trying to. We live in a democracy, but yet they're trying to handpick and appoint their successors. If we live in a democracy, then we need to give it to the people. It's power to the people. Let them vote and pick who they want to represent them. So I'm here to represent the people that can't speak or don't know what to say. I'm here to represent those people.
Thank you for being here. Jeff Lustig from Veterans in Politics International. My question is this. Just this week, it was reported on local news media, and it's widely understood that 2 people were shot in a busy commercial area near Craig Road and 5th Street in North Las Vegas. And the investigation is still being investigated by police. Do you believe North Las Vegas is truly a safe city? And what is some specific actions that you would take in your first year in the city council to reduce violent crime in areas of North Las Vegas like that?
North Las Vegas is the city that I call home. I do believe it's safe. However, there are people everywhere that choose to do bad. What I would do as far as in my first year, that's a good question. What I would do is I feel like this is where the problem starts, is with the kids. So if you have idle time and you're not given opportunities to learn, to grow, well, then you're looking for something to do, and then you're out doing crime and doing bad things. So first off, I want to give it back for the kids to be able to have something to do.
Hi, Cindy Lake, Veterans in Politics. Sir, are you familiar with the budget, the North Las Vegas budget, and its shortfall? And also, what would you do if elected? What would you advocate for to either cut or cut? And also, have you ever testified at a city council meeting? If so, what about? And if not, why?
Okay, so first off, yes, I'm familiar with the budget. There's it was just approved $990 million. And what they're telling you, the elected officials now are telling you that we're in the black, that we're okay. What they're not telling you is we're robbing Peter to pay Paul because we're taking money out of the general fund to cover the deficiencies. What I would do is we need to trim the fat first off. We have a city manager who is the highest paid city manager out of the 3 municipalities in Southern Nevada, Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, and Henderson. And we're in the smallest city in North Las Vegas, but yet we have the highest paid city manager. I don't know about you, but that doesn't make sense to me, first off. And then what else? Have I testified at no, I have not. I've gone to many city council meetings, but I'm just looking and listening, trying to observe. I do plan on being more vocal though, because my name William means protector. And I feel like I was sent here, one, to protect the citizens from the corrupt politicians, or not even corrupt, just people out to get what's best for themselves and not what's best for the city. I'm looking out for the city of North Las Vegas.
I'm sorry, follow up real quick. How do you plan to get your name out to the people without any money? And you said you were self-funding. I'm sorry if I'm assuming without any money. How much do you plan on investing in yourself to get your name out to the people? Because running a campaign, you have great ideas, but nobody knows about them. I'm just saying that would be the case if you weren't able to get your vision out to the voters. Thank you.
Yeah, you're correct about that. I got a little bit of money. I'm using my own personal money. My father was a 28-year city councilman in the city of North Las Vegas. He's helping me out. I have friends and family that have decided and are helping me out. So no, I don't have the tens and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars like my opponent and some of the other people, but I've got enough to get out the message that I want to get out.
Okay, this is a financial question too. With your background in finance and business, how do you plan to address the city's long-term debt while simultaneously increasing funding for public safety and community programs? As you know, they've had some financial problems in the past. So what is your plan to kind of cover up those, recover from those issues and still have everything funded okay?
Well, first off, like I said, we got to cut some of the fat, cut some of the unnecessary spending. We got to stop giving sweetheart deals. I was just reading there. We gave a developer a great deal on the old city hall, like for way less than market value. Let's stop cutting these side deals and making other people rich, and let's make our citizens rich. Let's make our people, just give them a better life. It's already hard enough. Let's do stuff for the kids. I would like to do an aquatic park because we don't have anything like that in North Las Vegas. And it's also a revenue generator as well. So there's things that can be done, but what we need to do first is stop what we're doing. What we're doing isn't working. It's getting some people rich, but it's not the people of the city.
So Martin Walker, Nevada Veterans Association. I'm going to keep with the theme, kind of on the transparency theme that I hear. So you frequently raise concerns about private deals being struck between North Las Vegas officials and major developers before they even hit public agenda. If I want to make sure I'm understanding that correctly. So with that, what specific language would you seek to have in a developer transparency ordinance to address this in a way that's, that with the legal, given especially that you don't, if you were to win the seat, you'd be only one vote on the seat, or one vote in the council. So there has to be an ordinance that either needs to be rewritten or written in some of these when you're doing either CBAs or contracts, to maybe have a person recuse himself, something. What specific ordinance language would you be seeking to add?
That's a good question. Well, first off, what happens is the developers tend to go before the planning commission first, right? So we're going to vet the planning commissioners more and better, and give them an idea of what it is that we're seeking or what it is that we want first. So once they get to the council, first the planning commission takes care of, not letting something come through that isn't up to council standards. And from there, specific language, I really have to look into it more just to give you a better answer.
So what ordinance governs how the planning commission members are chosen?
The planning commission members are chosen by the council. They
Right, but going back to my question, I know they're chosen by the council, and you part of your answer was choosing better, and I'm asking you what governing document gives the council members guidelines on how to choose and what to choose, how to vet, what are tenets or the metrics or rubric, whatever they're using to vet a planning commission.
I haven't seen one. That's not to say that they don't have it. It's just to say I haven't seen it. Thinking about it, they pretty much how you would get on any city board is you fill out an application and submit it to the city clerk, who in turns, I guess, submits it to whatever council member that you are a part of their ward. Then they choose from there. So.
Jeff Lustig, Veterans in Politics. Mr. Robinson, you had said that you have a family connection to the city with I think you said it was your father that had served.
Yes.
So I think this is a really appropriate question because if elected, it sounds like you would be second generation, which is great. North Las Vegas has experienced rapid growth, shifting from a city that once was facing serious financial challenges, almost ending up in receivership at that point. And as you say, it still is. Right now, there are new houses, new industrial developments, new infrastructure projects. Looking ahead 30 to 50 years, what is your vision for the city of North Las Vegas? What specific factors, jobs, public safety, infrastructure, or quality of life will determine whether North Las Vegas truly stands out and leads within Clark County as a top city?
The city is growing right now, but as we're all aware, we have a shortage of water. I was talking to a group the other day that want to build to bring water. I guess it'd be straight from the Pacific or straight from one of the lakes to North Las Vegas, so we wouldn't have to go through California. So as far as with us growing, yeah, it's good to grow, but we also need good growth. My kids live here. Hopefully they'll stay, but if not, then it is what it is. But I'd like for them to have a place and have water and their kids and so on and so forth. Without having the water, then we can't really do much of anything, first and foremost. So let's get a controlled growth. Let's bring real jobs. We have a lot of convenience stores and storages, and yeah, they look like good jobs, but with the way things are going, the prices of things, I just paid $5.59 for a gallon of gas. We need jobs where people can sustain themselves. So bring in better companies, bigger companies that can help people with careers and not just jobs.
Okay, Cindy Lake, Veterans in Politics. I'll piggyback off what Jeff was asking, but be more specific in how would you attract more businesses to invest in North Las Vegas with your opinion on how it's being run currently and being only one vote should you be elected to the council? What would you propose to your colleagues that could be done to attract new business, tourism, etc.?
First off, we have to make sure the city is safe. No one wants to go where they feel unsafe. So we have to make sure that our police and our fire are doing their jobs and they're happy first and foremost. Once you have happy people doing their jobs, it can build upon that. Secondly, to attract new businesses, we have to show them the good of North Las Vegas. I'm not saying give sweetheart deals, but we have to make it worth their while as well.
Okay, my question will piggyback off of these two. Many veterans in North Las Vegas possess high-level technical and security clearances from their time at Nellis Air Force Base or other military jobs. As a council member, how would you work with local businesses to create a fast-track certification program that translates this military experience into municipal or contracted city roles that could help them pair with the new businesses that you're bringing in? How would you help to change these into certifications that can work for those businesses?
Well, first off, I think we got to put the certifications on paper, let people know, okay, we have this person, they have this skill, and they have a certificate or something showing that they've completed so many hours or they've done whatever it is. Okay. And then secondly, maybe we could get a department within the city, human resources, some that specializes in working with veterans to help find jobs and get them where they want to be. We've got a lot of city employees, but a lot of times they're not doing a whole lot. So let's put them to work as well and help everybody else out.
Martin Walker, Nevada Veterans Association. You have listed public safety as one of the pillars of your campaign. Residents aren't just concerned about crime, they are concerned about emergency response times as well as pedestrian safety. What is your strategy in specificity to addressing the issues on public safety?
From a police standpoint, it's being present, being around. I feel like I'm not a criminal, so I don't know this for certain, but I feel like if I were a criminal, I'd be less likely to commit a crime if I saw police more often. So from a police standpoint, just have them around more, have them actually in the neighborhoods, meeting the people, knowing the people, building a rapport. Everything in this world starts with relationships. If the police have good relationships with people, they're going to know about crimes, maybe not ahead of time, but once they're committed, they'll know who did it. from a fire standpoint, and we probably need another fire station, and also better training, more training, so that they have the first aid portion of that as well.
We got plenty of time. I've got more rounds. And all right. Well, so I guess so far you have made some things. You have said some things that at least give the appearance that you take issue with some of the things you've seen from behind the scenes with some members that are currently in office. I'm not specifying which office because you didn't. Um, but some of those people you'd be end up working with were you to be elected. As military members, we understand the importance of mission focus and team cohesion. And going into that environment now, anyone who sees this or is aware of whatever your feelings are, there's going to be some dysfunction or some friction with your teammates, and which allows everyone to lose focus on the mission. So how do you prepare yourself, or how do you think you can, work as a team with people you go into the fight already having some adversarial relationships with?
I'm solutions based. I don't care about personal feelings or how someone may feel about me. I'm solutions based. I want to do what's right for the city of North Las Vegas, the city that I love, the city that I grew up in. I don't care who likes me. I know when I'm at home, I got my wife and my kids. They love me, so that's all that matters.
I'm gonna push back just a little bit for the sake of making sure we all completely understand. As a teammate, and even as in the military, we may not personally particularly. We're not going to go have a beer with everyone we work with, but at the same time, we also know we have a mission, and whatever differences we have, we can't just say we don't care about how the other person feels about us, because that other person is counting on us to do our part, and you would have to work with other people to get anything done. So I would ask you, not about your personal feelings about caring about this, but understanding how do you work as a team with people you may disagree with.
Well, again, like I said, I'm solutions based. I'm not looking for anyone's approval. I'm looking to do the right thing for the city. And if the right thing for the city is the right thing for the city, will be working with people that I may not care for. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to do what's right for the city. I understand that it's not about me, my personal opinion, my personal feelings. It's about what's right for the city. I'm putting the city first, period.
I have a question. Cindy Lake, Veterans in Politics. In 2008, North Las Vegas experienced a foreclosure crisis of mass proportions, which led to, down the road, it almost going defunct, in my colleagues' words. And what would you say you would do right now, because our economy is spiraling slowly but surely? I am a realtor by trade, and every day I'm receiving emails about foreclosures and short sales. And if this were to happen again, and we're already borrowing from the general fund, how do we prevent a bloodbath from occurring again in North Las Vegas? How would you advocate strongly for some sort of stopgap measure to prevent that from happening? Thank you.
Give me just a second. I got to process this one and see if I can come up with a feasible solution. Unfortunately, there probably isn't one with the way things are going. But thinking ahead, we have to have that in mind that it's a possibility. I know back then a lot of it was based off of adjustable mortgages, which they've gotten rid of. Sorry about that. It's hard to say. You know, my whole goal and focus is doing what's right for the people. And as a city, we can help out, but we probably won't be able to cure everything. Yeah, that one I don't necessarily have a great answer for you.
I have a little follow-up because you mentioned the city manager being the highest paid out of all the municipalities. How would you propose, again, to change her pay structure or whomever is in that seat? And what do you anticipate would happen from bringing that to the fore?
Someone has to lose their job and you have to go back to the start, which means you're going to most likely end up paying a high buyout. That's the only way I see fit is you're going to have to pay for it. But along those lines, once you pay that person out, then you bring in someone who's qualified and who's willing to accept what we should give them, or, you know, something that's not extremely outrageous.
Tim Ross, Nevada Veterans Association. As a lifelong resident of North Las Vegas, you've seen the city undergo massive changes. What are three issues in North Las Vegas that you'd like to address, and what is your plan to implement those changes?
First off, the planning, the vetting of businesses. It's going to be a convenience store on the corner of Martin Luther King and Alexander. And the developer ran out of money, I guess, was what the newspaper had reported. But they still had cones and stuff blocking off the street because they hadn't finished everything. So now instead of a 3-lane, it's a 2-lane. So we need to do a better process of vetting people so that they can get their jobs done. They can complete the project. Secondly, like I said, the transparency within the city government, the city pay structures, even just the job requirements and qualifications. We need to make sure that we're sticking to the rules that we set forth in order to do that. And then thirdly, let's see, what else? Trying to think of something else. Yeah, I can't think. Again, just with the developers and the deals. So, and the one that I mentioned earlier was just one. We had another one. Okay. No problem.
Yeah, I'll ask a question. Jeff Lustig, Veterans in Politics. North Las Vegas has for a long time had kind of a reputation as a city that just seems to be static in the way that it is. One of the other candidates mentioned that there's no areas of upscale housing. There really doesn't seem to be any tourism activity or any desire to make it tourist. I mean, you could try to get theme parks, you could try to get movie studios, you could try to build stadiums. You could try to get it on the Bright Line train. But nobody seems to care about that. Why? What's going on up there? You've lived there your whole life. Why does North Las Vegas just seem to be happy with mediocre and going nowhere? Is that really what's going on? Can you shed some light on that? Because I'm a resident of Las Vegas, and I look out my window and I see your city, and I just kind of shake my head and go, wow, really?
Leadership reflects attitude, first and foremost. So when you've got bad leadership or the wrong leadership in place, it's going to reflect the attitude of the employees, of the citizens, of everyone, of yourself. You don't even live in North Las Vegas, but you see it and you have the attitude of, as to why we don't have those things and don't attract those people, I can't tell you. I believe they're great ideas. We should have a sports facility. We should have all of those things that you're talking about because they're all going to generate revenue. They're all going to be tax-paying places. So, yeah, we should have all of that stuff. Why are they not trying to build? I don't know. I mean, we have to ask them. I can only speak for myself, what I believe, what I value.
Cindy Lake, Veterans in Politics. Okay, you're elected. Day one, sitting in your seat. Do you have an ordinance in mind to cut something, eliminate something? And what would that be?
Change starts from within. And what I would say, first off, let me say this. So the elected officials are considered part-time, but yet they do full-time work. What I would say is, first off, I plan on working it full-time. But I'm not going to accept any overtime or any full-time pay. You can give me what's on the books or even a little less. So I'm going to cut my own salary so that I can show that I'm committed to the city, to doing what's right. Because like I said, change starts from within. If I'm not willing to do something, then nobody else is going to follow me.
So I want to make sure that I got this right, that you spent time or you served on the Parks and Recreation Board and the Citizens Advisory Board.
Correct. I did those things over. Well, the Citizens Advisory was from 2003 to 2007. The Parks and Recs was 2007, 2011. I served as chairman on both of those boards as well.
Okay, so from being behind the scenes, it begs me to believe that you understand the different lanes and the authorities and the duties between the mayor and the city council. And some of the things I think I've heard you said today sound more like mayoral lane versus the council member lane. So I want to give us a description of what you believe is the lane of the city council member.
In North Las Vegas, it's all kind of the same. The mayor is really just a ceremonial mayor. They don't have any extra authority. The role of the city council is to create ordinances for the city.
Say again, the role of the mayor is to create the ordinance?
The role of the city council.
City council, okay, yeah. Got you. Okay. Are there any other questions? All right, so this concludes the interview portion of today's event. I'd like to give you 1 minute to a closing remark.
My closing remark is, my name is William Robinson. I'm running for the city of North Las Vegas, Ward 3 City Council. I'm running to bring the city back and get the city back to its citizens. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. That concludes today's interviews. Once again, I'd like to recognize and thank all of our sponsors: Judge Mary Perry, Clark County District Court Family Division Department P; Christine Brewer, Clark County District Court Family Division Department S; George Chris Cannon, North Las Vegas Municipal Court Judge, Department 1; Judge Noreen DeMonte, Clark County District Court, Department 28; and Councilwoman Carrie Cox, Henderson Ward 3, and our additional sponsoring partners for their leadership, support, and dedication to veterans and to the integrity of our non-judicial process.
Join us every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, live stream on Facebook.